Little girl pulled out the only $10 she had left on her. She begged the CEO before her to be her father for 3 days. The CEO was very surprised to hear it. The little girl explained that her parent-teacher conference was coming up soon. If the teacher and classmates found out she had no father, everyone would surely mock her. The CEO was so busy every day, he was overwhelmed. He had no time to pay attention to the stranger girl. The little girl knelt before the CEO in tears, pleading with him to help her. This gesture drew discontent from the onlookers, who angrily accused the CEO of being an irresponsible father. With no choice, the CEO had to agree to the girl's request. He then followed the girl back to her home. The tiny house was filled with empty The CEO may have remembered his lost daughter. He couldn't help but turn over and gently cover the girl with the quilt. The next morning, he saw the girl sleeping at the gate, shivering from the cold. It turned out the girl did not want to disturb the CEO's rest, so she had gone outside. The CEO, furious, scolded the girl. Seeing the girl's wrong expression, the CEO realized he had spoken too harshly. At that moment, the girl picked up her backpack from the ground and prepared to go to school. After the girl left for school, the grandmother took out all her savings, hoping the CEO would take care of this poor child. After saying this, the grandmother died in front of the CEO. The CEO called his assistant to send someone to handle the grandmother's body. When the girl returned from school, she found her grandmother was gone from the bed. The CEO lied that the grandmother was ill and had to be treated at a hospital in the provincial capital, claiming he would come back to visit her when the girl scored 100 on her exam. Just then, the CEO suddenly received a call from his assistant, saying the physical examination reports from all the city's primary schools had been delivered to the hospital. This meant that his lost daughter could soon be found. The CEO told the girl he might not be able to attend the parent-teacher conference because he had something more important to do. The girl pitifully pulled the CEO's hand, but the CEO still left without looking back. This made the little girl very sad. Soon the CEO arrived at the hospital, received the physical report from his assistant, and then realized the girl was his biological daughter. The girl had come to school all alone, facing the pointing fingers and whispers of others. How much the girl had hoped the CEO would keep his promise and attend the parent-teacher conference. The teacher mistakenly thought the girl was lying, even angrily wanted to send her away to fetch her parents. But before she walked out of the school gate, the CEO drove up in a luxury car.